Ladies and gentlemen, grab your tea, grab your biscuits, and get comfy, because today we're going to be talking about Tower of Dawn. Tower of Dawn is a 2017 fantasy fiction novel written by author Sarah J. Maas, and it is I completely forgot what number in the series it is. The 6th book in the Throne of Glass series. Just a little disclaimer before we go on, this review will have spoilers, so if you don't want spoilers, I would click away now, but if you don't mind spoilers, continue. So without further ado, let's dive into the review. We mainly follow Chaol and Nesryn on their separate journeys in the southern continent, which takes us to abandoned ruins, terrifying spider nests, and probably one of the most beautiful cities I've ever come across in a book. We do also follow a new character. Well, I say new character. If you've read the Assassin's Blade novella, she's not really a new character, but her name is Irene Towers, and she is one of the best healers at the Tory. In fact, the healer on high has named her the heir apparent to the Tory Kesme as well. So we know Irene's got some serious skills. Over the course of their journey, we discover some hidden secrets, the true path to healing, and that danger is still lurking in the shadows. Okay, so I know I've been complaining slightly about the lack of world building in the previous novels of the Throne of Glass series. Wow, I was quite thoroughly impressed with the way that the world was constructed in Tower of Dawn. We are on a completely different continent to the other books that we've been reading, apart from Heir of Fire. Heir of Fire was on the same continent. The first 2 chapters exploded with information, not just how the city and the throne room and the people look, but its customs, its traditions, how it was formed, why it operates the way it does, how everyone's always got a smile on their face because you can worship any god or goddess you want because the overall ruler will always include the gods of countries that he conquers and essentially adds to his empire. For me, it was really, really good, and it was immersive, and it just built up this entire new society and how they operate, which was interesting to see because it's very different to anything else I've come across in the Throne of Glass series so far, which was definitely a much needed break from the series as a whole. Well, as much as taking a break could mean when you're reading like a 600-page book. Alright, my feelings about Chaol have been made perfectly clear with the previous Throne of Glass novels. However, Tower of Dawn has changed my mind about Chaol completely. His character is just so different in Tower of Dawn compared to like all the others, and it's such like a fresh take on him. He starts the novel really, really angry and sort of depressed because he is stuck in a wheelchair, and he hates his wheelchair because he feels like it confines him, and he feels like he can't be the man that he used to be while he sat in it. The way Chaol changes very much depends on Irene, which is our healer character, and possibly one of my favorite female characters in any book I've ever read before, really. I really enjoyed Irene's character. She's such a skilled healer that she has been healing severe injuries of the Kagonites, again, I hope that's how you pronounce it, of the Kagonites army, people who have like fallen off their horses and had like severe spinal injuries. Irene comes along with like her magic and, you know, her wonderful bedside manner. Within a month they're walking again, and that was truly incredible to see. Obviously the healing is done with magic. Nesryn finally got some screen time. Well, you know, if it was a film, we filmmakers say screen time, so we're gonna call it page time. Yeah, Nesryn finally got some page time, and I believe she was introduced in Queen of Shadows. I might be wrong, it might have been Heir of Fire, but I've got some strong feelings that it was Queen of Shadows. But in Queen of Shadows, she was kind of in the background. She was very much in Chaol's shadow that I found. She does have some epic moments, but they weren't as big as all the other characters, and obviously, you know, Aelin smashes a glass castle, so can't really trump that, can you? But in Tower of Dawn, Nesryn finally gets to be explored, and that was really interesting to see. So she is sort of a native of the southern continent. Her family is from there, and she says that she feels more at home in the southern continent than she ever did in the northern one, and she even admits that to the entire country's ruler. She journeys into the mountains with one of the princes, Sartark. He is a ruck rider, and rucks are these like giant eagle-shaped birds that just fly around really, really fast. So they go to the mountains, and I remember distinctly there being this one scene with Nesrin. So they're in the kind of like heart of the mountain, and the leader asks Nesrin if she wouldn't mind telling everyone a story from the northern continent. Nesrin replies with, well, my stories from the northern continent aren't that happy, but I can sing for you. And she does. She just, you know, she lets her voice out and she starts singing, and everyone just goes still and silent, just listening to her. Her song is also telling a story. I can't quite remember what story it's telling, but it is telling a story. And by the end of the song, one of the female characters, who's been described as kind of like, you know, your badass warrior female, is in tears by the end of Nesrin singing. That moment is what really got me to appreciate Nesrin as a really important female character. She was wonderful to read in Tower of Dawn. I felt like I really connected with her character, despite the fact that she gets to ride a giant eagle and I don't, but that's beside the point. Nesrin is also responsible for revealing to us that twist, or that reveal. You know, when you're tied up in a spider's lair about to be devoured, and then the spider graces you with a story and it reveals your enemy's true self, that's when I'd be, you know, shaking in my bones. But what I'm referring to is the twist slash reveal about Maeve. Honestly, I did not see it coming at all. I would never have guessed if I hadn't been told straight away. And that's probably because, like, I just don't like Maeve's character at all. I find her really annoying and obnoxious, and I cannot stand her. So that's probably why I haven't really paid close attention to Maeve. But when the spider is just sat there going, yeah, we're waiting for our Valg queen to return. In your country, you call her Maeve. I had to put the book down for a couple of minutes and just, you know, meditate and sort out that bombshell that had just been dropped in my lap. Okay, so I have talked about the writing a little bit before, but I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail with it. It was really good. It was hooking, it was engaging, it was immersive, and it was easy to follow, it was easy to understand. There were a few points where I did have to look up the pronunciation for a few of the character names and a few of the words, but I kind of have to do that with most books I read because I'm always finding new words and new names in novels, which is part of the reason why I love reading, you know. The themes of the novel that kind of jumped out to me from the writing were definitely a sense of belonging, of healing, forgiveness, and acceptance. And I'd say strength as well. Those were the themes that kind of like jumped out to me the most. And I definitely say this is very much a novel about healing rather than a war, or rather than, you know, fulfilling destiny or fate or whatever. This is definitely a novel about healing. And I think Sarah J. Maas has said that herself, but I definitely got that sense when I was reading it. I connected with that kind of underlying message quite a lot. I'm sure there's been times in our lives where we've had to heal from something. So Tower of Dawn was kind of like this little hug, really. It was like, it's okay. Everyone's got to heal at some point, and it's not just healing the physical injuries. You've got to heal your mental ones as well, and you've got to heal your soul, I'd say. So that was what was most enjoyable about Tower of Dawn. Descriptions definitely like ramped up massively in Tower of Dawn. So I loved the riding and flying sequences we had on the Ruck Riders because I felt like I was, you know, on the ruck flying with them. The writing also enabled a really steady pace throughout most of the novel. So we weren't really in this like kind of monotone flat line. It was more we were building towards that climactic ending. We were building towards Chaol's injuries being healed. We were building towards the leader of the country saying, yes, here's my armies, go to war. And, you know, I was kind of rooting for Nesrin to, you know, have a little bit of a love interest, which she got, and I was quite happy with that. Yes, Nesrin deserves that after all the things that she's been through. So yeah, I really enjoyed the writing in Tower of Dawn. I thought it was well structured. I thought it was very well laid out. We still have those dashes, and I think those dashes and me are going to remain enemies for a very long time because I'm probably going to come across them in another book and just have Narm flashbacks, really. There was one thing which kind of threw me off a little bit, and that was the fact that at the very end we find out that Chaol and Irene have actually married before sailing to the continent with the entire army. And my first thought with that was a bit quick, isn't it? Haven't really known each other for that long, but they've been through a lot together, so it kind of makes sense, but I just thought it was a bit rushed and a bit quick. So that was my little review on Tower of Dawn. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. It is the first book in the Throne of Glass series that I have given a 5 out of 5 to, and it's the one that I have absolutely loved and enjoyed the most so far. So I do highly recommend you go read Tower of Dawn, but do read the others first, otherwise you won't have a clue what's going on. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of Tower of Dawn. Stay safe, everyone, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye!